On this episode of If You Don't Know What You're Doing, Don't Do It, I present to you a 2018 Ford Focus. Hey everyone, how's it going? So, I got a 2018 Ford Focus here. Got towed in for a no start. Started looking at it and I realized somebody's been messing with this car. Okay. It had no crank, no start. Customer thought it needed a starter, or at least that's what they told us. They think they need a starter. Okay. This story gets real deep, too. Now, these Ford Focuses came with an automatic transmission. They're not really automatics. They are automatically shifted manual transmissions. Okay? It's a 6-speed manual transmission. It has a clutch and everything else, except you wouldn't know it. You have an automatic clutch and you only have the brake pedal. You don't have a clutch pedal. But it does have a clutch. Now, on these, I don't know what led to this, but I finally got this out of the customer. I got the car in, and I went and I checked, and of course, the battery was dead. The car had been sitting for a little while, several months at least, because it had rusted up rotors and stuff like that. Like, not severe, but sitting for a couple months down here, you'll get rusted up rotors. So I'm like, oh, okay. I put a battery charger on it. I got the battery fully charged. Went to go start it, everything turns on, nothing, no click, no nothing. Okay. So I had Jaden sitting inside of it. I went underneath it. I went with a test light to the starter. He held the key over to crank. I got no signal. Okay. So I went underneath the hood. Now I have test relays that are actually, they're fake relays basically, but they actually have a rocker switch on the top. And you can switch it over. Basically what it's doing is it's mimicking a relay, and it's just completing the circuit. That's all it's doing. You could do the same thing with a jumper wire. But I have a set of these, so I had one that fit this car. So I put it in, hit the switch, it starts cranking. Okay, so I know that circuit from the battery basically through and on down to the starter. I know that's good. So if something's not triggering the starter or the relay to actually trigger, something's not allowing it to trigger or trip. Sorry, my head is plugged up. So, I was like, all right. So I turn the key on, I flip the switch so it starts cranking and it starts up. I'm like, okay, great. I was like, I got to put this thing outside because I got to talk to the customer and find out what led to this whole problem. I go to put it in gear, I got nothing. I got no reverse, I got no drive, I got nothing. All right. So I scanned it for codes and it said a couple of different weird transmission codes. So I'm like, okay. I don't know a heck of a lot about these things. Okay, I've never really worked all that much on them. I just know that they have what they call a dual dry clutch. And it's basically like, it's a dual clutch disc setup to drive the transmission. And I don't know the reasoning for it. I honestly don't. I really don't care because to me it's just an absolutely hokey setup. But anyway, and I mean, they've had problems with these things left and right for years. I think they finally did away with them because they were just so problematic. So I finally get a hold of the customer. She comes in and she says, I had a problem with it and it was acting up. So I searched on YouTube. Okay. Now, I appreciate you guys watching me, obviously, and there's plenty of great YouTube channels out there. There's plenty of knowledge out there being shared. However, if you're not mechanically inclined, think twice about what you're doing because you can really hurt something in your car. You can create a huge problem. I have yet to figure out what the actual issue is as to why they did what they did. I couldn't get a straight answer out of her, but at least she told me what she did. And amazingly enough, they caused a substantial amount of damage to this clutch setup in doing what they did. And what also amazes me too is how, like myself being a mechanic with, $100,000 worth of tools here, I can't find a certain tool to fit something because it's a specialty tool or whatever. But somebody laying in a parking lot can come up with something to drive something to get something loose or whatever, like a socket or whatever. No matter how specialized it is, they can manage to do it. But me, for some reason, like, I'll struggle with it. And you guys who do this for a living, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's just kind of funny. But anyway, let me show you something here. Actually, where the heck's my tripod? It's here somewhere. Let me find my tripod. Hold on a second. All right, so I'm setting you up here. Let me reverse your camera, I should say. Now, this piece here, okay, this sits inside the transmission. This is actually what is like the clutch fork, okay? You see how this pivots like this, okay? This is a ramped roller here. So as this thing rolls outward, it will force the fork to basically move the clutch, to engage or disengage the clutch. Now if you look on the end here, this Torx bit fits kind of close. You see it starts to screw it out. Like I can't get it to work exactly right, but it'll start to screw the ramps out, or those rollers out, and it's spring-loaded and it'll come back. You see that? So this is done through actuation of this motor. This motor basically installs like such, and it allows it to move. Now, obviously, because I'm not powering it up, it's not, this thing just free rolls, so it won't actually allow it to engage or do anything because the motor's just turning. So I'm not going to bother trying to show you anything. I'm just explaining how it works. So this, when that motor turns, this thing will press to release the clutch. The throw-out bearing attaches to here or here, however it attaches. So the customer told me that she saw online that there was problems with these stepper motors or these actuators, whatever you want to call these. So they managed to get some kind of a tool inside. Now that actuator there is actually from this car. Okay. They managed to take that off, get a tool inside there, and then they spun that ramped piece that I showed you that's spring-loaded that I can't even turn. The best fitting tool I have is that Torx socket, and it doesn't even fit quite right. It's, I don't know, it's almost like a triple square or something, or it's a spline drive. I don't know, but why would I ever need something like that? You know what I mean? But they managed to find something to fit it, and they put a drill on it, okay? They put a drill on it, and now if you look, I'll show you this real close here. Let me turn my light on too. If you look really close, you could see how that has a bottomed out piece. That's actually the shaft that's inside there that goes all the way to that end, okay? You follow? It goes all the way to that end. So that piece in there, right there, that spins with this. So it's threaded on the inside. So as it spins, that rod is going one way or the other, you know, forward, out or in, to that point, okay? They somehow managed to get a drill on that. And they screwed that thing in as far as it could possibly go till the threaded rod came out. Let me show you. So there it is. You notice that is this piece here, okay? That is this piece here. And you see there's nothing in the center of it now. So now, that piece there free floats, okay? It free floats. So now I got to take this whole thing apart. I don't know if I'm going to do the job or not. Well, I don't know if the customer wants to do the job either. Because right there, you're talking, let's just figure, I don't know, 9 hours of labor. What's 9 hours of labor? It's $1,300 something, roughly, maybe more. $1,300. These things, if it just need, there's two of them actually. There's one on this side and one up top, because it's actually a dual clutch, like I said. I think what happens is one depresses it to release the clutch and one actually pulls it back out to engage the clutch. I'm not quite sure how it works. Like I said, I never bothered to get too involved with them because I knew this was kind of like a passing technology and they're not going to use them that much. At least I didn't think so. Figured I'd be out of this business by the time these things ever became popular. I'd rather have a manual transmission with a real clutch than this setup, I'd tell you that. But anyway, so I never really got all that involved with these because I just never had a need to. So if you're taking this apart, you're going through all of that labor to take this apart. This thing has 100,000 miles on it now. You may as well put a clutch in it. Guess what? These clutches are expensive. These clutches are about $1,000 for the clutch. And it comes as a module. It's basically like the clutch, the flywheel, there's like a center flywheel because it's a dual clutch disc setup. Pressure plate, it all comes as a module. The kit, if you buy an aftermarket kit, also comes with the two of these two ramping pieces. It comes with a new throwout bearing and everything else. So when all is said and done, to fix this now, you may as well put a clutch in it. Because to me, it's pointless to not put a clutch in it with spending all that labor. I mean, yeah, you're basically doubling what you're spending in labor because of parts. But if I were to buy one of those from Ford, just one, and I don't know the reason that they wanted to do this in the first place. If I were to buy just one of those, it's $400 from Ford. Whereas I can get the aftermarket clutch kit made by Luck. Luck is the ones that make this kit, okay? But I can't find that particular ramping actuator. I don't know what you want to call it. I actually can't find it separately other than in that kit or from Ford. So why would I spend the money when I could just buy the whole clutch kit? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. Especially since Luck is the one that makes it for Ford. So I'll just buy the Luck kit. Save the customer some money. Because if I bought everything from Ford, it'd be at $3,000 just for parts. So, you know, at least from Luck, the whole thing is like $1,200, $1,300, whatever the list price is for it. I don't remember. Could you find it cheaper on Rock Auto? Sure. However, now here's the other thing too. These stepper motors or actuators, these go bad too. Also, what goes bad on these, what's known for going bad, is the actual control module itself. The control module is this piece here. They're known for going bad on these. Now, I have a funny feeling this may have gone bad, and that's the reason it's not starting. If I am not mistaken, that's what controls the shift forks too. So that piece has basically the actuators inside of it to control the shift forks. Because like I said, this is a manual transmission. So basically what this boils down to, like I said, is if you don't know what you're doing, like if you really don't know what you're doing, don't do it. This thing requires some specialty tools to set these up the correct way. We have them here. We've done these before. Rob has done them before. I've never done one. So just something to think about. You know, tackling your own repairs, that's great. I love it when people do that. When they tackle their own repairs and they get it done, there's, you know, you got a feeling of pride when you do something like that. And I totally understand it, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But what I'm saying is, if it's something that's beyond your abilities, please think about it before you create a bigger problem for yourself. That's all. I just don't want to see people create a problem and then have to come to me for me to straighten out their problem, and now it costs them 10 times as much as, you know, had we just looked at it first and, you know, in the very first place to begin with. You know what I mean? So, all right. I think I need to go home and take a nap. Anyway, that's about it. So just be mindful. All right, guys, I hope you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, have a great day. Keep wrenching.